it's Amazing Buys, and we are back again with another perfume review. If you haven't already, or if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the notification bell, like, and subscribe, and let's get started on this perfume review. Fragrance review. I was walking around in Belk, and they have quite a bit of stuff that I haven't seen before, so I wanted to do something a little bit different. We all are familiar with certain new releases that are coming out or certain well-known brands, so I wanted to do something where I talk about perfumes you may not know about or colognes, just fragrance in general. The first one that we are going to talk about is Viva La Juicy. So I know that this is kind of like a well-known brand, I guess. I think it was really popular like in my teens and like early 20s, but this is probably the only like, okay, we know about this, but I'm just wanting to give an in-depth review about the ones that they have in there that I've seen. So we're gonna knock this one out of the way. So the first one is Viva La Juicy Sucre. I talked about this in my previous video, so if you haven't seen that one, I'm going to put it here so you know what video I'm talking about, and I want you to go ahead and check that out because I gave like an in-depth review, my thoughts about it, so check that one out. The next one we have is Viva La Juicy. This is the normal one. The top notes are wild berries and mandarin. Middle notes is honeysuckle, gardenia, and jasmine, and the base notes are amber, caramel, vanilla, sandalwood, and praline. In my opinion, this was a sweet, fruity, floral scent. It was more floral than anything. I think I used to have this perfume, like I said, teens, early 20s. Maybe like it's a nostalgic thing, but that's what this fragrance reminds me of, like what it's aimed towards. Me in my 30s, I personally wouldn't wear this. Not that anything is wrong with it, it's just too, I guess, youthful. But I thought that it was okay. It's not my favorite in the line, and I think it's a decent starter perfume. So if you know someone or yourself that is just getting into perfume, I would try that. Now, I will say, as far as Juicy Couture, if you don't want to pay like those store kind of prices or even like online, you can find Viva La Juicy at TJ Maxx, at Marshall's, like those like discounted stores. You can find those there. I think it's a decent perfume to start off with. That is Viva La Juicy, the original. The next one, Gold Couture. I did a short about this and like the top gourmands. So for the top notes, they are wild berries. The middle notes is jasmine, sambac, and honeysuckle. And then the base is, sorry, I'm looking at my notes. I have a lot. The base notes are sandalwood, golden amber, caramel, and vanilla. So this is the first gourmand scent that I've tried from Viva La Juicy. You definitely get that berry, that caramel in there. So for me personally, I really like gourmands. I mentioned that a lot in my videos. But this one, if you like caramel, like it does smell like caramel, but I like the ooey gooey type of caramels. So this one didn't give that ooey gooey, but you do get that caramel note in there. So as far as the Viva La Juicy line, when you compare Gold Couture versus Sucre, the newer one, Sucre, like it just knocks Gold Couture out of the water. I don't even think about that anymore. If you really like gourmands, I would say stick with Sucre. And if you just want something, you know, a little caramelly, like you more lean to like fruitiness, but you want that sweetness, I would go with Gold Couture. It does have a little bit of floralness to it, but it is in the background. That is Juicy Couture, Gold Couture. For the next one, we have Viva La Juicy EDP. The top notes are watermelon, passion fruit, marigold, apple, and water hyacinth. Middle notes is wild rose, princess lily, tuberose, and then the base is caramel, vanilla, and patchouli. So this one was definitely stronger than the previous ones that I mentioned. I would say, unlike the original Viva La Juicy, this one has more of a fruity muskiness, if that makes sense, versus the floral that you find in the original Juicy Couture. So the next one, Viva La Juicy Petals. So the top notes is water lily, hot pink freesia, and vanilla Madagascar. I'm sorry, those are not the top notes. those are just the notes that are listed. This says key notes. This is a bright floral scent without the muskiness. This one, I really, really enjoyed this one. So if you like florals, you would like this. I really think that the bottle is really pretty, like with the pinkness and the flowers that's all on it, because when you look at that and then you smell it, you're like, oh, I get it. I get why they put this on the bottle. I think this would be great in hot weather because it's very bright. Like I said, that muskiness is not as strong in this one versus the others. And overall, I really like this. It was nice florals and it was refreshing overall. For the next one, we have Vive la Juicy Noir. So the top notes are wild berry, mandarin orange. The middle notes is jasmine, gardenia, and honeysuckle. And then the base notes is sandalwood, vanilla, caramel, and amber. So as you can see from the notes, this is very similar to the original Vive la Juicy. I would say that the only difference that it has is the amber. Let me see if the other one had caramel. It did. So it's very similar to the original. The only thing is when you look at noir fragrances, regardless of what brand, it has that like amber in it and the musk, like it makes it feel like it's a nighttime fragrance. It gives it that like mysteriousness, that like, it's almost like a sexy version of the original one. So something you would wear on date night. I feel like it's like a nighttime scent versus the original. I liked this one better than the original. So that is Vive la Juicy Noir. This kind of like solidifies what I've said in the previous videos about Juicy Couture. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but when you smell their fragrances, you know it's Juicy Couture. Like they have the same DNA, part of the same family. They're like sisters. Not even cousins. They are sisters. Okay? They're not even married in. They are sisters because they kind of smell alike. It's just little twists here and there. On to brands that you may have never heard. So if I butcher these names, forgive me. For the first one, we have Love Me Tous Silver. The top notes is tangerine, velvet peach, pear. The middle note is sambac, jasmine, rose petals, tuberose, and the base is sandalwood, amber, and musk. So this is like the typical light, fruity, floral scent. The peach is kind of overshadowed by the florals for sure. Is this a bad scent? I don't think so. I just wasn't really wowed by it. And I do want to mention that when I seen them, because if you're familiar with Moschino, how they have like the bear bottles. So this is very similar because they have a white one, a pink one, and a black one, just like Moschino. So I was just like, is this some kind of dupe? Did one come before the other? Like I've never heard of this. But this one, like I said, is pretty decent. The musk in it is light. So I was just kind of like, it's okay. But I do want to note, and this is just Belk, it was $120. I like Moschino. I like the white one. I like the pink one, not the black one so much because it's too peppery and I don't know. I don't really like it. I like automatically because the bear bottle, I was just like, am I supposed to be comparing this to Moschino? I really enjoy the white Moschino. For this one, I was just kind of, yeah, it's okay. For the next one is the pink one. So that is Love Me Tous. And like I said, it's a pink bear. The top notes are pink grapefruit, pink pepper, and lychee. The middle is peony framboise, rose citrifolia, jasmine petals, and then the base is cedarwood, cashmere accord, and mousse crystal. So this is nothing like the bubblegum Moschino that everybody talks about, everybody loves. I'm gonna do a review on that pretty soon. You get a burst of pepper in the beginning. Now, I'm not really too much of a fan of that. Actually, I hate it. I hate when fragrances do that, whether it's cologne or perfume. I just don't like that burst of pepper. I don't like that on my skin. So you do get that, but then when it dries down, it turns to more of like a fruity floral. I talked about like how cashmere tends to make fragrances smell in my previous video talking about the new Victoria's Secret fragrances that came out, like the body mist. So cashmere tends to soften fragrances. So I feel like The cashmere note in this one, I mean, really like softens it up. As far as like comparing it to Moschino, that black pepper note is in the black one. So I know like when people see pink, they think of bright, they think of fruity florals. This one has pepper in it. It's not like the Moschino. The pink one definitely has it in there. So when that happened, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. What is going on here? And then for the black one, that is Love Me Too's Onyx. So the top notes are hazelnut, grapefruit, and peony. The middle notes are heliotrope and black orchid, and then the base is sandalwood, vetiver, and vanilla. So the heliotrope made it kind of weird, I think. I feel like this one was okay. It just was not for me. That's my thoughts on it. For the next one, this is the last in the Tooth line, the Love Me Tooth. So this is Tooth's Gem Party. So the top notes are lemon, pineapple, papaya, peach. The middle is mango flower, jasmine, and peony. And then the base is vanilla, musk, and amber. This straight up smelled like cheap bathroom soap. And when I say cheap bathroom soap, I am talking about cheap as in like this is at like a bus station. This is at some old bus station and you use the bathroom when you wash your hands and you're like, ugh. That's what it smelled like. And it's so weird because the bottle is so pretty. As you can see, like it has sparkles in it. The top has like a cute pink bear. So I don't really know what I was expecting. Maybe something on the fruity and floral side, since that seems to, you know, be the notes in the other ones. But I was just like, what is going on here? This was soapy. I wouldn't even say that this is a clean scent. It's like a weird, cheap, soapy smell. So I would pass on that one, regardless of how pretty the bottle is. On to the next, we have barbour. I'm gonna say barbour. I'm guessing that's how you say it. So this is the perfume line. So they also have a men's one, which I think I want to say I got footage of, but the bottles look exactly the same. So the only way you'll know the difference is one is for her, one is for him. And then so the top notes are citrus and green notes. Middle notes is jasmine and tuberose floral. Base notes are tonka and orris. For people that don't really, like, they're not into the florals and the fruities and, hey, I don't want to smell too feminine. I typically like something that's more masculine. For people like that, I think that you should definitely try this because I like having different unique scents in my collection. So I don't always want to get like the fruities and the florals and the gourmands and the clean. I want something different. I like variety. So for this one, I was pleasantly shocked because this gives you a variety. So you definitely do get those green notes. This is like a fresh green notes. It smells clean, but this one is a little bit masculine leaning. I don't want to scare you guys into thinking that because they do have a men's version of this and it's definitely masculine. But I'm just saying it's away from that cute, fruity floral like side of the fragrance community and it's kind of shifting towards masculine, but not completely. I really enjoyed this. I've never heard of this brand before. I do recommend this. I think it's pretty good. And like it's like a citrusy green. You guys got to try it. The next one we have Barbour Coast for her. The top notes are elmy, bitter orange, lemon, and mandarin. And then middle notes is solar floral accord of jasmine, neroli, and freesia. And the base is musk and cedarwood and balsam. This is like the fresh, clean scent. So the first one was like citrusy, green, kind of leaning towards masculine. This one is like the fresh, the clean scent, and then it has that citrus notes in it. So I do want to mention that this one is a sweet type of citrus, and I know like when people hear citrus, sometimes they automatically it's just like, I do not want to smell like a can of Pledge. With these, that's not the case. This is a sweet citrus and it has just enough musk in it. When I think about this one, I think like someone just freshly took a shower. Whenever like I think about citrus scents, it's something about that and like the shower and the white clothes is what I think of. So that's what this one reminds me of. And I honestly feel like even though they do have like the men's version of it, I feel like with these two, if you have like, boyfriend, husband, fiance, whatever, like I feel like this can be shared in between a couple and like it would still, work for both. So these are definitely unisex, whether you get the men's or women's. If you way masculine leaning, then I would say go for the men's. But I feel like the women's is definitely unisex. That is Barbour Coast for her. For the next one, let's see. They do have plenty of gift sets that they have out. Coach, they have Michael Kors. I mean, I didn't get all of them, but they have a lot, even some Ariana Grande. So I was told by the associate that they will be getting more mid-September to late September. I guess she said they're putting like the Christmas stuff out a little bit early. So if you are into gift sets or maybe somebody's birthday, something's coming up, or just for yourself, treat yourself. That is coming mid-September to late September at Belk's. For the next one, we have Monique Lulier. I don't know if I butchered that. Okay, so the top notes to this one, I've never heard of this. Which is like, what is this thing? It kind of reminds me of the Marc Jacobs, like daisy with the flowers on top. Okay, so the top notes are Sicilian bergamot, cassis, dewy hyacinth. The mid notes are freesia, ylang ylang, lily of the valley, and rose. The base notes are lace wood, delicate violet musk, and sulawesi patchouli. This one, to me, was a bit weird because I was expecting something fresh, like floral. I kid you not, like for some reason, it's something in there that kind of reminds me of root beer. I know that's so weird. That's what I got. So there was like a root beer smell, and there was a lot of muskiness on the initial spray, and then it turned into like a floral soapy scent. I know. This thing has a big old flower on the top. I don't know. Started smelling like a little bit mature for me. So my guess in it was like the white florals, the violet, and the patchouli in there kind of gave that, scent off. But those are like the typical notes that do cause that. So personally, I would say that this is not for me. I'm going to pause for 1 second for this next one. I know that some people are going to be offended, but on my channel, we are speaking a truth. This is a conversation that needs to happen. So before I start making my channel, I've seen in the past where people talk about certain fragrances and they're saying the word mature, and like, it seems like they're dancing around the truth. They're like, oh, I don't want to offend anyone. Oh, this is not for me. Guys, we are speaking truth. I know like people are just like, y'all need to stop saying granny and grandma scents. I kind of agree, because maybe like when people say that this is a grandma scent, I don't know who y'all talk about, because it ain't my grandma. If your grandma or your mom is smelling this, a conversation needs to be had. I mean, everybody likes something different, but this, the aldehydes, the white florals, the patchouli, guys. First of all, this one is a bit much. When I tell you that, like, if you spray a little bit, it projects. Like, this is a lot to take in. For me, in my honest opinion, when I smell it, it reminds me, I dare not spray it on my skin. Like, no, it was on the strip. But when I smell this is like if a 100-year-old person was stuck in their house for a decade. They never opened the windows. They got random mothballs here and there. That is what this reminds me of. I am being honest. Don't shoot the messenger, okay? I feel like if my grandma or my mom or loved ones, whoever was wearing this, and they are just hell-bent, like they love this scent, they cannot be swayed. My recommendation for this is to lightly spray in the air and walk through the mist. Do not because I can always tell when somebody is wearing this and it's just really offensive to the nose. Like, I have literally smelled this on people and I can see the reaction of others around them, and it's it's never good. Another approach to this is if your loved ones or someone you know really likes this scent, I feel like, be honest with the person, obviously, but I feel like you can introduce them to even a better scent. I mean, there are hundreds and thousands, whatever fragrances out there, and White Diamond just needs to retire. Sorry, not sorry. Going on to the next one, Rebecca Minkoff Blush EDP. So the top notes are citrus and blackcurrant. Middle notes are lush white florals, and the base is cedarwood and tonka bean. This was a nice feminine scent. It really reminded me of somebody going out for brunch or something. It's really feminine. It's flirty. It's like a bright, fruity floral type. For some reason, this one kind of smelled like it had an almond note in it, even though it's not in the notes. It might be the tonka bean. Sometimes, that creaminess of the tonka bean kind of reminds me of almond. Not completely, but just kind of reminds me of it. So yeah, this definitely reminded me like you're going to brunch in the springtime. So I would recommend this one. And unfortunately, I didn't get to smell the other one with the black top because, as you can see when I open it, the top was removed off of it. But I will say that I regularly see both of these in Nordstrom Rack and in TJ Maxx. In my recent TJ Maxx video where I'm going fragrance hunting, I showed the two body mist for that. So the next one we have is Silhouette All Natural. Sorry if I butchered that. The top notes are mandarin pear leaves and peach nectar. The middle notes are water lily, wild gardenia, coconut blossom. The base notes are skin musk, sandalwood, upcycled cedar, and this one has like a warm sheer scent to it that smells fruity. It actually smells pretty good. I've never seen these fragrances before. The bottle is pretty unique. And then for Oula Rouge, the top notes are ruby grapefruit and praline. Middle notes is white star, jasmine, mysterious gardenia, and pearly tuberose. The base notes are heavenly musk and blonde amberwood. So despite the notes, I was completely like, wait a minute. What is this? This has the same DNA of Baccarat Rouge. I guess what? I don't know which came first. I don't want to say like, hey, this is a dupe. I don't know. I've never heard of this brand. But they do smell very similar. It has that DNA. But I would say that this is more leaning towards Ariana Grande Cloud versus Baccarat Rouge, which I know those smell the same, but they have little differences. So this one, again, reminds me more of Ariana Grande Cloud, the original. For Oula Rouge exclusive, the top notes are cassis, taget oil, and bergamot. The middle notes are fir balsam, saffron, and sheer jasmine, and the base notes are boya wood, and then it says in parentheses oud. I am butchering this. Amberwood, moss, praline, sandalwood, and musk. I didn't really like this one too much. And the reason why, first of all, it did have that same musky, sugary DNA as the other one, the Oula Rouge. But this one was very woody and very peppery. And again, I'm not too much a fan of like the pepper note in fragrances unless it's blended well and you can't really smell it's like hidden in the background. I really don't like pepper notes in there, so I'm pretty sure that's what caused me not to like it, but that's just my opinion. For the next one, we have Oscar de la Renta Bella Blanca. The top notes are freesia, green pear, cassis, mandarin. The middle notes are jasmine sambac, violet leaves, white roses, dewy muguet, and the base notes are creamy sandalwood, peach skin, musk, ambrox, and cashmere. So this one smells like a fancy musky floral, and then it's softer and creamier than I thought it would be, and the white florals and violet actually worked in this one. Very few fragrances I think can pull that off. This one was pretty decent. Now I do see some of these in Ross and TJ Maxx, the Oscar de la Renta brand. I'm not exactly sure if it's these specific ones that I'm mentioning in this video. So for the next one, this blue one is called Oscar de la Renta Bella Bouquet, and the key notes are crispy bamboo leaves and rich floral notes of magnolia and rose absolute. So this one was an aquatic floral scent. I'm like, oh, maybe that's why they made the bottle blue. And I think what gave off that aquatic scent is the bamboo. So sometimes that can give off like a fresh green scent, and sometimes it can be compared to aquatic notes. I feel like in this one, it was more of the aquatic type of scent when you see a bamboo note in a fragrance. I thought it was pretty good, but this one, like I said, gave off a green watery scent, if that makes sense. So for the next one, I did review 2 colognes. The first one is Brioni EDP. So the top notes, goodness. That first one. I'm just going to put it right there. That's what the first note is. The next one is Green Apple, Ozonic Accord. Middle notes are Violet, Abroxan, Pink Peppercorn, and the base notes are cedarwood, tonka bean, and musk. So I thought this one was pretty good. It was musky, it was woody, it was masculine, and I wouldn't say that it's unique, but I still think that it's a good fragrance. Pretty good, decent buy for cologne. And for the white bottle, that is Brioni EDP Eclat. Top notes are grapefruit, pink pepper, and frankincense. Middle notes are rose patchouli, and base notes are sandalwood, musk, and Abroxan. This one was very earthy. It was musky with a bit of spice. So with notes like Abroxan and patchouli and pepper and frankincense, like, it's no surprise. Honestly, I would pass on this one and go for the other one. That's just my thoughts on it. So that is all that I have for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't heard of these fragrances before, let me know. If you have heard of these, if you do even have some of them, let me know your thoughts on them and why you like them or why you don't like them. But that is pretty much all that I have for today. If you haven't already, again, like, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and bye. See you next time.